www.patreon.com/themodernapes. What do you get? For $4 a month, you get 4 bonus Modern Apes episodes for $4. It's crazy. And if you want to be a real one, Tristan, tell them what they get in the internal affairs level.
Oh my God, you get so much. It's the show that I host. Unfortunately, the guest every week is Daniel. We can't find another. So it's where we dive deep. Daniel has cried. We find out terrible things about his family that continue to happen to this day. I don't know what's going on, but apparently there's something in the water in Arizona, and it's making you turn into trash.
Tell a friend about the cash. Join the Patreon. And see you guys later. Enjoy the episode. Hey, what's good? How you doing? Hope your Friday's going well. Welcome back to another episode of the Modern Apes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Bridgegad. We're live from the ever-glorious...
What? I'm pulling.
You scream wits. You're supposed...
Oh, I thought you were going to actually get it right for once. Wits!
It's like we've shot this a bunch of times before. Anyway, dude, welcome back. How you doing? Today we're talking heroes. We're shooting 2 back to back. It's hot. Or in New York, or at least it was. We're doing a heroes versus villains thing. Before we get into that, sitting to my right's the Vampire King, King Possum, Lord Meerkat. It's Tristan Bowling.
Hi, fresh off of Legion of Skanks, if anyone...
Fresh off of Legion of Skanks. I haven't asked you questions about this yet on purpose.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was a good time. I was 10 minutes of just me on the panel without Norman was running late, so...
Yeah.
Kind of nerve-wracking for the first time.
Questions?
No, it was basically, since Chappelle was downstairs, it was Big J yelling out the names of famous black people from 25 years ago.
Walking to and from. He's like, hey, that's fucking Raekwon. You're like,
no, we're telling Jake the intern to be like, Jake, go tell, like, Talib Kweli that she's a bitch and take her hair.
Talib Kweli? That's a man.
I don't know. This is how much I don't know.
That's awesome. There's black royalty in attendance, and Tristan's like, that's a her, right?
The only thing I said was Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
And I know that black guy.
Wu-Tang's a him? It's a they, you're saying?
Yeah. How progressive.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So was it, I mean, you're talking to a bunch of dads. There was
a funny part where it was like, they're judging the fall-offs of hot people from like their childhood and stuff like that. Like Topanga from
Boy Meets World. Peace.
Was Boy Meets World or was
Boy Meets World? I know my thick white women.
Yeah, okay. And they're like saying all this, and they're like, Tristan, do you know any of these people? I'm like, no, I'm like 27. I'm like, the hottest person I remember from me growing up was Shigo.
That's so crazy that ranks for you. First of all, it's an animated cartoon. Kind of weird.
Bitching, dude.
No, I'm not saying she's not hot, but I'm saying to rank number 1, to beat out the likes of to beat out Ashley Tisdale and Brenda Song and first of all, Kim Possible's hotter than Shigo.
I would have said, no, I think Shigo.
It's very telling of our personality.
I like the goth bitch.
Yeah, I go Kim Possible's the one. You're like, no.
Nah.
Turn the hair blue.
Goth bitch. I want her pussy to maybe look green or something.
She got piercings that couldn't go on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For sure.
She's totally got her tits pierced.
I was going to say labia at least.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
She got her tits done behind her dad's back in the 7th grade. That's no good.
Yeah. I would love to see a Shigo origin story.
You like a girl that has skull socks or like skull accessories.
Someone who once wore knee-high Converse. Yes.
With fishnets and knee-high Converse.
That is my type of lady.
And just a dad who exhales.
Over denim cut-off, shorts, black denim cut-off shorts.
Christ.
Yeah, dude, that was my shit.
Because I saw I saw Haley came. Andrew's in the crowd like a proud little brother. He was just sitting there. He's like, look at him.
No, I had Andrew come because in case Haley didn't get into the showroom, I was to keep her company and stuff.
Was it weird facing away from the audience?
No,
because they sit behind you. And you just had a screen, right?
There was moments where I'd get a big pop because I'd be looking at like, you look at Dave and Jay and like the people talking and shit. But there was moments where I'd get a big pop and I'd just be like, yeah, right, guys, right?
Oh, behind you's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Did a joke not go over well and then behind you's not cool? Did you feel people behind your back just
Sometimes
sigh?
It wouldn't go over at the table, but I would hear Haley laugh. Like, they're talking about how Lewis's penis talked, and I did my clown voice for Lewis's penis, and everyone just kind of went, huh, and moved past it, but Haley loved it.
And that's what got me through, man. I just need to hear your voice in the back, babe. I know that's what you went home and said.
No.
Oh, you got pussy off of just that.
No.
If I can hear, you are my heartbeat.
She was so pumped on me being on there. Because that was like the thing. Like, I didn't want to say this on the episode, but like when we went on our first date, I was listening to Legion of Skanks on the way over there. And she saw it on my phone as like, oh, continue listening. She's like, oh, you listen to Legion of Skanks? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I love Legion of Skanks. And I'm like, no way. I've never met a girl who loves Legion
Again,
of Skanks.
Kim Possible doesn't listen to Legion of Skanks. Shigo listens to Legion of Skanks.
Shigo listens to $1 Million Extreme.
And weirdly enough, Ron and Rufus have not missed an episode of Legion. He looks like he would watch them.
Rufus is on Tim Dillon's Patreon.
That's awesome. And then when Norman came out, how was the merger between Tristan time and then obviously the big guns roll in?
Yeah, they're all talking. It was just like me. I would shoot in every once in a while. Like, I made Norman laugh a couple times, which is really fun.
Did it feel, I mean, his laugh makes my fucking, but it feels, it's his real laugh, but it sounds like AI. Was that fun to get the AI going?
Yeah, not like the, I didn't get like I think I got a couple of those, but I got a couple of like, and I'm like, yay.
Look at that as a kid. I think there's a 9-year-old kid walking around laughing like that, just creeping out a 3rd grade teacher.
Well, just coming from the perspective of just like, dude, I remember running like Black Ops 3 in my room, listening to Legion of Skanks like all day.
Is that like that's your podcast? That would be like that's the one, bigger one?
Yeah, that was the one.
For you? That was the one?
Yeah, that was the one that like I always listened to. So like going from there to being like, oh, I was listening to that to like now I'm on it.
That's pretty
It's pretty tight. I like that.
That was the end. Did they give you any goodie bags or anything? Mescaline?
No, everyone just left.
Yeah, they are fathers.
Yeah.
She has readers now. It's all... Yeah.
I was the only person there who was not an active dad.
To be fair, the shit's delayed here. I've learned from living in New York, subtract 10 years from your physical age. It's like you can be 30 and act like a 20-year-old, and it's kind of normal. You can just be out in the streets partying still, and people call kids crotch demons. I don't.
It's weird. It's like 30-year-olds act 20, but 20-year-olds act 30.
Because I think the younger kids know what's up. They're not drinking. They're not smoking. I mean,
no, they're doing crazy drugs and drinking. Are you kidding me?
The young Thundercats?
Yeah.
Maybe we're looking at different Thundercats.
No. I'm looking at like, dude, it's like fucking Gio will invite me out. They're like, yo, we're going to NYU party. And I'm like, do you want to go? And I'm like, maybe. What's going on? He's like, all right, we got some like NOS. We can be doing like mag, ketamine, shit like that. I'm like, good.
No, okay, that's one guy, and also that's not the exact.
That's a lot of girls.
That's not the.
That's a lot of people, dude.
Also, you're too old to be at a fucking college party. That's an undergrad. That's an undergrad party. Grad school students don't throw parties, and if they do, there's charcuterie boards and wine.
Nah. You still throw a rager in your late 20s?
We are far. This is our difference in.
You can still
opinion,
throw a rager in your late 20s,
but the rager looks different. It's not sticky floors and spilled candle wax and cocaine.
The reason why that's different is because it would be at another. The difference is like in the like kind of earlier years of your 20s, you're like everyone come over to my house, but then you have to deal with the cleaning. In your later 20s, you're like we're gonna set up an event and I'm gonna pay to have a place where we can fuck it up. It's basically gonna be like one of those destroy rooms, except for we're all gonna be plastic.
Because I don't need people getting skeet all over my sheets and then I gotta wash everything.
Yeah,
I feel like what being 27 feels like. I was thinking about it on the plane back from Phoenix the other weekend. It feels like you're at a party, but I've been there for too long, and you're like ready to leave. And I know when I turn 30, it'll be like closing the door on the party and like walking down the driveway to get the Uber home, where you can still hear it. And you're like, fuck, I kind of missed that. I was just in there. It was so fun.
No, you can still be in the party.
I've been at this party since I was 18, Pip. This is the last 10 years of fucking...
What party?
I went to college at 18.
I know.
If you go to college right out of high school, you get all of this out of your system at least. That's why it's weird to me to go to you go to a festival at 27. We're going to 27? With fishnets and Molly at 27?
That's a little much. That's more like mid to late 20s, but like when you're hitting like 30 and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to Rising Moon Fest this year. I've been saving up all year. And you're just like, dude, what is going? I mean, live your life. Congratulations that you're able to that brings you joy.
I'm gonna be mad you're living it, and that's the world that I think we need to live in.
I mean, like if you feel complete in doing that, and you're like, this is what I do, and I'm happy with it, then you fucking knock yourself out, man. But
No, actually, please knock yourself out. If your name is fucking Tyson and you're getting hyped and bought Stagecoach VIP tickets, please hit yourself in the head with a rock. We don't need any more.
Well, to be fair, a lot of those people who like started out raving start getting like accounts on Instagram, and then they just become rave accounts, and they go there to create content. There's a lot of people who are trying to do that and failing miserably.
There are people that are locked into shitty social media things that make too much money. Piff the Magic Dragon makes 6 figures off of painting his face.
So much. How many dogs has he gone through? How many dogs?
The therapy gecko? You think that guy's dad's impressed? No.
But he's making some good money.
But he makes so much money.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the streamers and stuff like that. It's great. Dude, I saw this heartbreaking thing where it was like iShowSpeed's mom hates him for some reason.
His mom in the beginning didn't believe.
She still doesn't believe in any of it.
Well, because she got cut out. That's the problem. In the beginning,
no, she reasonably got cut out because she was being a huge fucking bitch. She's like, I just got 500,000 subscribers on Twitch. He's like, stop fucking yelling, turn the fucking thing off.
Okay, but it started at not 500,000. You got to think, your kid's not doing shit. He's at the age in high school where he should be taking SATs and like getting ready to like figure out what's next.
Nah, that's like, me doing stand up. I was literally that age doing stand up, and my mom wasn't like, stop doing your fucking stand up.
Yes, but you at least can acknowledge that they were a little loose. You could have achieved the same stuff and graduated high school. You could have went to high school.
I don't know.
Why do you act like I don't do? It's a night job. It's a night job.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
having a job after school, like most kids have.
Yeah, but like
most kids go to work at Sonic from fucking 6 p.m. to like midnight.
I don't know.
My sister and brother both had high school jobs.
Yeah, but at the same time, during the day at school, you're not writing jokes for Sonic. Later on, you're like, all right, so I'm going to roll up and be like, oh, you want a cheeseburger today? It's the special. Let me introduce you to the new fucking Reefer Polar Pop.
Sure. Half of high school for me was sitting on the phone. Well, that's where I guess it's different. High school was easy for me because the work was easy. You were probably
you didn't do anything. They put your shoulder on ice, and as long as you could say and spell, you're able to.
Oh, they go, Daniel, just write your name here. They go, and here.
You just fucking gripping it with a full fist.
They go, congratulations, you just passed pre-calculus.
Yes. Nice. When do I throw ball now? Like, you're good at throwing ball, Daniel.
Throwing ball.
Yeah.
It is pretty great. The American education system, folks. Arizona, 49th, I'm pretty sure, in the union.
48th.
48th, we're moving up. Suck it, Hawaii.
I have a pretty silly joke about that.
About us beating Hawaii?
No, us being 48th.
Are we good?
No, yeah, it's just being like, I didn't know we're 48th in education, which out of 100.
It's not bad.
Top 50.
We're the 48%.
Yeah, top 50.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it a little bit. We're talking heroes.
Heroes. What does a hero mean to you? Is this someone who's like affected you? Did you ever meet this person? Or do they live as like a mythical figure in your life?
No, I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about doing like...
Your dad?
He's like, my hero? No, we're talking about doing heroes.
Oh, yeah, true.
For the villain up. No, but I thought like a hero's like, I don't know. Somebody who did some cool shit. I don't think I do. Otherwise, you're just a good Samaritan. Teachers, good Samaritans. Hero, guy who ran into a burning building.
Yeah.
Good Samaritan, guy who picks up person who's too drunk at an NFL game. Hero, Pat Tillman, who played both NFL football and also is a U.S. Army Ranger, which is
really?
Which is like the equivalent to, it's like a SEAL, but they don't do water.
Yeah.
They're just the ground badasses.
Yeah.
And there's a problem.
Do that splashy stuff.
Yeah, I guess the Green Berets are up there too. So Pat Tillman, he's half the reason I picked him. He's like an Arizona legend. He played at Arizona State and then went on to play for the Cardinals. It was killed kind of on some fuck shit. I don't want to blow the lead, but Patrick Daniel Tillman Jr.
Do you know there's a really funny really funny Family Guy joke
about Pat Tillman?
Yeah.
Pat Tillman reached Family Guy?
Yeah.
What?
It was like I think it was like they went back in time and eliminated all war and stuff like that. And it'd be like, a breaking news: Pat Tillman tackled by his own team.
That would kind of suck. Half the reason a hero is a hero, if they're dead, it personifies what they did. Like,
yeah.
If Pat Tillman didn't get shot and he just like, did 5 or 6 years of like touring and then came back to the NFL and was just like a mediocre safety, or like if Tupac didn't get shot, he'd have 4 bad albums by now. Lil Wayne's last album just came out.
Elvis died in Vietnam.
Elvis died in Nam?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like he served? Why was this whole thing military? He like made military movies and songs.
Because he served. He did. Yeah, he got drafted. Yeah.
I was right. Shut up, Granny. You taught me something.
You did. You said, "Why do I think?"
I go, why do I think? Why do I have a
Why do I think? It's because it's a fact. Oh, that's why I thought that way.
Patrick Daniel Tillman Jr., which I do like a junior. I will be having a junior of my own at some point, which is sick.
Fucking Carl's Jr. I hope you have a fat kid.
All right, we call them Marty's.
Yeah.
He was a professional football player for the Arizona Cardinals, and he left his sports career to enlist in the United States Army Special Operations in May 2002 in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks.
Damn, getting that fired up.
Which is pretty crazy to leave.
Fuck, imagine if you're just some dude living in a mud hut and sandals and you see Patrick fucking Tillman crossing the horizon in full squad outfit, looking like a goddamn metal ghost walking through the goddamn Sahara.
His brother went with him. So it's like Pat Tillman and Pat Tillman 2 just sprinting out. Fucking, they don't even take the bulletproof vest. They're like, we don't need it. Fuck your automatic guns.
Yeah, still wearing a football helmet.
Yeah, I need my helmet and 2 45s, and we're gonna get these bastards with flip-flops out of these tunnels.
Yeah, we're called Army of Two. I'm Sanchez.
So his service in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as his subsequent death, received media attention, especially when it was discovered that he was killed by friendly fire.
Can't do that.
That's half the reason he's such a martyr. You do all that, you leave the NFL, you do all this just to go over and fucking get clipped by your own.
A guy from Missouri.
Yeah. That's why you can't just recruit anyone.
Didn't sign my helmet.
Well, the problem is people are like, there's going to be a draft. There's going to be a draft. And I'm like, we have to do this better. We have to do this better we did last
I found out I can't get drafted.
You're past the age. It's 26.
Also, and I think they I don't know if they get rid of that, but also it's because I've been to a mental hospital before.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, you're not. You're not.
Get me in the foxhole.
Yeah,
I'll freak.
I mean, you're not who they want over there. You know, it's like, what would you do? First of all, you're going to have 60 pounds of shit on you. That's 50% more of your, that's more than 50% of your body weight.
Yeah.
That's an insane ask of you.
Yeah, they would have to put me through Captain America's super serum to get me to a regular soldier.
You'd just be doing this sounds horrible, but then let ladies on the front. You'd be doing women's work. You'd be on kind of that camp.
I'd be in the cafeteria. I'd be whipping up good shit.
I had a buddy that did that. He worked on a Navy
Making
ship.
camel brisket.
Yeah, made like good stuff. That's how we knew that battles were going to get bad. If he's we're ever making lobster for the boys, that's how you know some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. People call it their deployment meal and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just people get steak and lobster, and they're like, "Why are we getting this?" It's so you can die with a full belly.
Coming back.
Yeah,
yeah. Take this truffle butter. Why? Because it's delicious, and you're never gonna have it again.
Yeah, you're smelling just caviar. It's oh god, we're smelling for bombs tomorrow, aren't we?
All right, back to old Patty Tooch. By the way, the kid looks like a badass. Can we get a picture of Pat Tillman up, by the way, for the people? His military picture, this kid's 215 pounds, cock strong, just farm boy strength. So,
was he born in Arizona?
No, so let me get into his early life. He was born November 6, 1976 in Fremont, California.
Oh.
Real hippy dippy, which explains
Pat
the long
Tillman
hair.
looks like a G.I. Joe. Holy shit. That's crazy.
Dude, that guy with night vision on just sprinting at you. Dude, there's a picture if you go down to the
spitting out the shells.
To the right, it's him and his brother, I'm pretty sure, with the bald heads right there. A little bit up.
Oh, up.
Yeah, right there.
One.
That's Pat 1, Pat 2. I'm absolutely sure of it. And those boys are, I would
love to see them jacked walking around to
just goddamn badasses.
Studios with Thing 1, Thing 2 shirts on.
Jesus Christ. So
look at that.
So Tillman's the oldest of 3 sons. He played competitive football. He went to Brent Hart Middle School, and he helped lead Leland High School, which, what a good name. Leland? My stepdad's name's Wayland, and I think that's right up there. Leland, Reland.
Yeah.
All backwoods.
You like a land-based. Yeah, land-based.
God damn. Yeah, you can throw a 1 and 2.
Imagine naming your kid Freeland.
I asked Freeland. It's like Freeland Montgomery.
Freeland Montgomery's a fucking sick name.
Vote Freeland Montgomery for mayor of George County. You're just all right. What is he running on? Wheat.
What is he running on? His goddamn feet. That's what he's running on.
Yeah, goddamn. Yeah, there's no Democratic candidate in Leland County. It's just Republican and super Republican.
Republican and independent because they made me.
Yeah. Here we go. So Tillman did not always play football. In his freshman year of high school, he was a catcher for the gays, for the baseball team,
Yeah.
but did not make the varsity team. In his sophomore year, he decided to concentrate on football, seeing as he was built like a fucking barbarian and such. His coach saw that brow line and goes, "Hey, son, you and your fucking dumb brother, can you guys like hitting shit?"
Yeah, so I've been eating the baseballs like an apple.
Tillman was very close to his family and high school friends. He repeatedly mentioned in his personal journals during wartime service. That is decrepit. They're just keeping fucking journals.
Yeah, what else would you do?
Yeah, I guess so. You're just out there staring at mountains, being like, "You think they're in that one?" You're like, they are in that one.
Yeah.
About that one. That one too.
Pretty much everywhere.
They're around us.
Unless we go there and look that they're not there, we don't know.
Yeah. Tillman was committed to his high school sweetheart, Mary Ugenti, whom he married shortly before his enlistment.
Italian broad?
Yeah, they always are. Enlistment in the Army. And of course, she was pregnant the day he got shot. I mean, literally, how has Scorsese not hopped on this?
Yeah.
They're making The Rock's making a Mark Coleman or whatever the fuck movie for the UFC, but
That's going to be good.
We could get a Pat Tillman.
Yeah.
They could do that. Has every opportunity to be like the best football movie of all time, blended with like Lone Survivor, up until he gets fucking clipped at the end by like
his own guy.
by his
They're gonna put it. There's obviously gonna be like they're gonna be like, all right, here's your squad unit: strong buffman, fist McPunches, and wimpy McNeeds help.
No, I think it'll be reverse. I think him and Fist McPunches will become like best friends through their sacred bond of like CTE and white country women, and then he'll shoot him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Scene, fin, and
yeah.
end credits. So Tillman played college football for the Arizona State Sun Devils, earning first-team All-American honors in '97. Nigga was like legit.
Yeah.
After 4 seasons,
the Devils used to be good, right?
they were okay when he was there. He played with Jake Plummer, who was a Broncos quarterback.
Yeah.
Turned hippie mountain man, pro handball player.
Pretty tight.
There's only so much. You get bored when you have just millions of dollars a lot of time. You're like, what else am I going to do? I have
Pickleball.
I have this big athletic body and millions of dollars, and I'm retired. At
I guess I'll do
31.
not sports until I die.
Which is crazy. You go ruin some other guy's day who's just like, I'm one of the best pickleball players in the. Who is this world-class athlete? Jake Plummer decided to make his hobby my fucking. Oh fuck.
Trying to get a sponsorship.
And there goes that. So Tillman joined the Army Rangers and served several combat tours before he was killed in the mountains of Afghanistan. At first, the Army reported that Tillman had been killed by enemy fire. A month later, on May 28th, 2004, the Pentagon notified the Tillman family that he was actually killed by fire from his own side. The family and other critics alleged the Department of Defense delayed the disclosure until weeks after Tillman's memorial service, out of like respect for the family. Yada, yada, yada. Now, his career statistics, for those of you who are curious, he played 4 seasons. And the reason this is a big deal, because
within the Cardinals.
Yeah, all for the Cardinals. He played
Shout out AC.
his first 3 seasons. He didn't miss a game.
Shout out Arizona. Thanks. Only 26 people came to the show.
That's internal affairs. Join the Patreon, by the way, because I want to know how the fuck that went too.
Thanks for coming, Carl. Got to meet the weird lady you call your own.
Is it 25 with Carl? Or 24?
25. I mean, Carl was there. I had some ride or dies there. Fucking Jason Brock.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
It seems like the Pinheads came out in a 7-10 split, huh?
Nah.
Would you say the Pinheads came out sparingly?
We put the rails on. No, still throwing
bumpers
gutters
on this goddamn shit.
Put on the bumpers, still threw a gutter. Broke through the bumper.
Oh, we had to bumper the room a little bit.
It was humbling. It was humbling having to bark.
That's awesome. Did you bark like you would? No, I'll ask you on there. No, did you bark like you were the headliner, or did you bark like, "Hey, there's a really sick dude at the comedy club"?
I said free comedy show, and they said, "Who's performing?" I said, "Me." They said, "Oh, yeah, is it anyone from Kill Tony?" I said, "I'm from Kill Tony, technically." And they said, "When were you on?" And I'm like, "About 1.5 years ago." But I'm a legend, you see? I'm a legend. These streets are paved with my name.
Meanwhile, this conversation is happening outside, and it's 107 degrees, and you're just sweating.
I'm screaming in front of a Chibo Hut, which is a weed-themed sandwich restaurant for someone, which employed me for several years in Phoenix.
Were you barking 35 minutes of drive time away from the actual venue?
No, right in downtown Chandler.
Oh, okay. I thought you were at the Chiba Hut by Mike's house.
No.
Hey, man, you have a car?
You want to go 20 minutes that away? Can you take me?
All right. So in Pat's 2000 season, Let me tell you the mindset this dude's in. End of the 2000 season, which means it ends in 2001 in like January.
When does he start his Cardinals season?
98.
98.
Starts
so
in 98.
He's playing in 98 all the way through 2001.
98 to 2001. First season, 46 solo tackles. Second season, 40 solo tackles. Third season, he's a starting free safety for the Cardinals, who are they're a force in the NFC. 118 solo tackles. That led the league for safeties across the entire NFL. He actually kind of played nickel and corner occasionally. That season ends in February 2001. In the 2001 season, he plays 12 games and has 94 tackles, and then the towers go down. And he takes it upon himself. He's making a grip of money and decides to be like, you know who needs to be out there? Me.
Yeah.
Him and his brother go fucking get deployed. Tillman and his brother Kevin enlist on May 31st, 2002. So he finishes the season. In 2002, they completed basic training together. The two brothers completed Ranger assessment and the selection program in late 2002 and were assigned to the 2nd Ranger Battalion in Fort Lewis, Washington, which I've been to. It's fucking crazy. It's in the hills. It's nice.
Yeah.
Tillman resided in University Place with his wife before being deployed to Iraq. After participating in the initial invasion of Iraq as a part of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yeah, that was a big.
I'm sure that's what it's about.
That was Bush.
That was Operation Exxon.
Yeah.
1.0.
Yeah.
He entered Ranger School at Fort Benning, Georgia. He graduated November 28th, 2003. Tillman was subsequently deployed in Afghanistan and posted at FOB Salerno on April 22nd, 2004. He was initially reported to have been killed by enemy combatants, which that's always crazy to me how they keep because like it's really important to keep stats on that shit. After like all the battles they'll go through.
You think that guy wouldn't fucking... Do you know how I know he wasn't killed by enemy combatants? Because the enemy combatant would be paraded around having killed the scariest guy.
We don't win every bit like firefight. And they have snipers and what do you call them? Mortars and IUDs? No, that's the pregnancy thing. IEDs? Right?
One of them is the pregnancy.
Which one stops babies and which one stops life?
Technically, one stops both. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a bunch of those, so you can get killed and not get the guy.
Yeah.
Tillman's platoon leader, First Lieutenant David Uthlot. Trust that guy.
Uthlot, you said.
Yeah. And his radio telephone operator, 19-year-old Jade Lane. See, that's what you'd be doing. You'd be like a...
Those radio guys die so often.
Well, yeah, because they're just out there with a fucking box, usually being like, "We're getting fucking hit."
Hit. I want fired. Someone in the sky.
I spent too much time behind a desk. They didn't prepare me for this. They were wounded in the incident. The Army initially claimed that Tillman and the unit were attacked in a apparent ambush on an outside road. See, they do that shit all the time. When you drive in the caravans, you get bombed and fucking ambushed. They're like trapdoor spiders.
Yes, much like eight-legged freaks.
But people, join the Patreon. We're doing watch-alongs. They were killed near the Pakistani border. It was not until after his burial that investigations by the Department of Defense and U.S. Congress were launched, eventually ruling his death as having come by friendly fire, which is crazy. An investigation by the U.S.
How the fuck do you mistake any sort of enemy for the, like, I'm assuming 6'5", 300-pound Patrick Tillman?
As a man who's, I mean, he's like 6'2", 215, but you're close. I mean, you're close.
6'9", 5,000
to them,
pounds.
to those guys, I mean, he's fucking the BFG.
I know. I'm like, what? You're fighting like 5'9" dudes in the desert this entire time. You expect he's just come across the Iraqi Hulk?
Yeah.
Like,
no, he was for sure. The investigation was done by the U.S. Army Criminal Division. They concluded that Tillman and the Afghan military soldier were killed by friendly fire when one part of his platoon fired upon the other in confusion.
I've heard that's a huge part of war.
Yeah, there's a bunch of just kind of bros moving around, bullets are firing. I mean, I froze for a sec when I had one female correction officer point a fucking stun gun at me for half a second. I was like, ah! I could only imagine, like, there's bros you can't see. There's just bullets bouncing off of fucking walls and stuff.
Yeah, it helps a lot in video games when you're silhouetted in blue for the guys you don't kill.
Usually you guys are outlined in red, and I get told when you guys are dead in real life, I wouldn't even stand up. I'm just behind a barricade, just spraying and praying.
I'm like, which one are you?
Yeah, just shoot till
Don't lie to me.
You have to tell me if you're a bad guy.
Tell me the truth if you're bad.
Yeah, so they got shot by confusion after nearby gunfire was mistakenly believed to be from enemy combatants. The CID report That during
Was there just a time where like an entire squad wiped themselves out because one person shot and it just kind of spooked the other person?
Probably, and then it's just like one guy left standing, and he's looking at like he picks up a dog tag and is like, no.
Who are we fighting?
So here's the official report. During their movement through the canyon road, Tillman's platoon had to split up because of a broken HMMWV, which I'm sure is one of those big ass Hummers.
It's a Humvee.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the fucking that's an acronym.
Yes.
Hey, you learn new stuff every day, kids. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot quicker than HMMWV.
Yeah.
So the parts were called 01 and 02.
Do you think they just called it HIV because it had a nice ring to it?
You guys are HIV.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they were driving separate ways in a
AR-15 stands for automatic rifle, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
What does it stand for then?
What is it? It doesn't stand for that.
Automatic rifle. Doesn't AR-15 stand for automatic rifle?
No, it doesn't stand for assault rifle either.
Or automated rifle?
Do you know what it stands for? Can you look it up? I don't know the right answer, but I know he's dumb as hell, and it's not either of those.
Well, dickhead, you didn't know what Humvee was when you spelled it out.
Fucking fair point. So basically, the two cars, the two platoons broke off. It's like if this were a circle, they broke off at the beginning of the circle, and an AR-15 stands
Armalite?
Yeah, eat my whole asshole and nothing but my fucking balloon.
Armalite rifle? That could have stayed off screen, Pat. We didn't have to show that one.
Yeah, so basically they broke off, spooked each other, collided, and then got into a firefight and killed Pat.
What a fucking bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah, and that's pretty much Pat Tillman in a nutshell. And now they immortalize him in like all of Arizona lore. When I took a visit to Arizona State, the tunnel that you run out of has Pat Tillman going from like sitting in the locker to leaving on like a chopper to go in like his army uniform. They also have, can you show me a picture of the ASU military uniforms? It's a like salute to service or something like that. They have the coolest jerseys that have ever been jerseyed in the history of fucking jerseys that aren't Army or Navy, because they do like cool shit all the time. And it's,
really?
It's handmade, yeah. But wait till it pulls up. They're like these, what is that color? The Army like swamp green, or like that Army like beige
the moss.
kind of. Yeah, the Army like football jerseys, or the ASU Army football jerseys. They're fucking sweet. We did something when I was at Washington where we got a patch, and it was our salute to service jersey, and we'd wear the last names of a fallen soldier who's from the state of Washington.
Oh, that's tough.
On our jerseys. That was pretty sweet.
Damn, you get sacked and taken out of the game.
You get to
like, that's what Johnny would have wanted.
Yeah, look at these.
Oh, it's like forest green.
Those are swaggy as fuck. Yeah, those are their salute to service jerseys.
Yeah, those are like moss.
And those are the coolest jerseys to ever jersey in all of jerseys.
Yeah.
Look at them babies.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are sweet. Anyway, that's Pat Tillman. If you don't know, now you know. And also fucking, can we get better tracking on who our bros are? Jesus Christo.
Yeah, for real.
What a shitty way to go out.
Can we just have a rate? We can do fucking Madonna's had a radio in her ear every show since the 80s. Can we have one in one of the fucking ears
would you
of a guy who's firing, just being like, all right, just confirm we have circled around and now we're at the end of the circle, so we're going to be seeing each other, correct?
This isn't a W, niggas. There's going to be one way in and one way out of here.
Going to cross paths.
Jeez. Would you be mad if they made a movie but changed the ending just to have a happier vibe?
Al-Qaeda killed him.
No, I'm saying he goes full just lone survivor, kills 17 people and makes it back home. Goes and wins 2 Super Bowls for the car. Like, would you be mad if they
directed by Robert Tillman? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but it would just be a gross glorification of what happened instead of like the ineptitude of the military.
They just montage it. Like they have a slow-mo scene where a bullet goes by.
Seems like he was there for about 45 seconds. I don't think he really spent too much time in the military. He's like boots on the ground, got shot by his buddy, and then put it in the news.
It's like the very beginning of what's that Tom Cruise movie, The Day After Tomorrow, or The Day After. We used to basically like, it's Groundhog's Day, but alien space.
I have no idea. I was thinking more of like the beginning of the fucking Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson at the front being like, aim for the bushes.
The other guy?
Yeah.
Jump on the concrete.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire ending part of him being, it's basically aim for the bushes.
That's what it was. And
except for in the bushes was Pat Tillman.
I thought that was going to be the main character. Like, no, it wasn't. Not at all.
It wasn't. No.
All right.
So I have a very special person who means a lot to me. While we're talking about American heroes, I have a hero to not only Australia, but the entire animal kingdom.
Kangaroo Jack.
Close.
Who?
I bet they would have been buddies. Steve Irwin, The one and only crocodile hunter. This guy
Crikey.
meant so much to me, you're out of your fucking mind.
That's a tiger shark. I'm going to fucking swim with it.
The first memory I legitimately have was hearing that he died.
Animal Planet. Surprisingly human.
Yeah, I know, dude. I love that. Don't even talk to me about that elephant. The elephant in the logo, that soft green logo.
It was great. That's where I found him, because I think he was on Animal Planet first, and then he got big and went to...
I think he was on, like, Discovery first. He was on Discovery.
Crocodile Hunter was on Animal Planet.
Was he on Animal Planet? Yeah. I think he shot stuff. I don't know. We'll get into it. So
just beef on who owns the crocodile.
Stephen Robert Irwin.
Have you seen his son?
Looks exactly like him.
And also does weird underwear shoots.
I did see that. I saw that. Didn't want to see it.
Doing push-ups naked and shit in front of his mom. You're like, what's happening?
Talking about handling animals.
I've never missed a leg day. Like, you should.
You got a croc in there.
Yeah. Dude got a python.
You got a croc in there, pal. So, Stephen Robert Irwin was born on February 22nd, 1962 in Upper Fern Tree Gully, Victoria, in Australia.
Okay.
Hi, Ian.
Let's go, pimp.
Right. Ian just came in. Everyone in the chat, say hi to Ian. Oh, my God.
I'm glad we don't have the pressure of a live chat. I would hate myself.
This fucking sucks. Yeah, that sucked. So his parents moved their family to Burwaw, Queensland. Beerwah. Sick. Imagine being named in a place called Beerward, Michigan.
No, I'm from Beerwood.
Yeah.
Can I do a halfway decent Australian?
No.
I'm from fucking Beerwood. Yes, I can. We're a prison colony. We call our blacks aboriginals. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's fucking...
Talk about the racist cheese you guys got.
We also call black cheese aboriginal. We have a thing about
aboriginal. That's not what it's called.
What do they call cheese?
Say raccoon, but take out the ra.
They just call cheese coons?
No, they call it that and then cheese.
They call it coon cheese. Why would it be... Because it's for black people, or they just call
black
cheese?
People made it, so they're.
Oh damn! Really?
Yeah.
Damn, we have coon cheese. It goes great with coon chicken on top of this coon Kool-Aid. The whole thing's delicious.
Yeah, it's great. Why are you mad? Why we're saying we love it?
Are they ethnic whites?
They're prison whites.
Is that black? I'm confused.
Basically like a whole nation raised off the Aryan Brotherhood, and they chilled out progressively. They found surfing and big spiders.
All right.
So his parents moved their family to Beerwah, Queensland, and opened up the Beerwah Reptile Park in 1970.
That's what a normal family does. Let's move to a new location. What are we going to do to make friends? I don't know. Grab the lizard. It's out of the cage.
Well, to be fair, it's pretty fucking smart.
I guess, yeah.
What is this place absolutely crawling with?
Things that
lizards.
Yeah.
Why don't we put them all and just grab a couple, put them all in a box, and be like, hey, you want to see the lizard box?
What do you think his death toll? How many? Because I see dudes who just copy him on Instagram all the time. Like the real Tarzan, the big black guy who has snakes all the time. He's just doing Steve Irwin. How many deaths do you think he's responsible for?
I saw a guy who just he was like, oh, I go around just collecting stuff. And his most recent video was him just being like, well, guys, I'm fucked. And it's a rattlesnake in his leg bleeding. And he's like, well, absolutely cooked. And the next three posts are just being like, thank God for anti-venom.
Yeah, there has to be, those are the lucky people. There has to be some guy who's like, this is a brown recluse. And then it just cuts to his memorial.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a brown recluse.
It's crazy because snake bites, don't immediately, when you get bit by a shark, you're like, oh! The entire time. Snake bites are like, ooh, what got me? And it's like, oh, the end of my life.
Yeah, slowly your legs just crumbling.
Oh, it's the death rope laying on the floor. I accidentally walked too close to the death rope and it nicked me.
You're like, what happened? There is no anti-venom. We have no clue. I told you if red touches black or something about yellow. I don't know. Either way, you're fucked.
Yeah. It's not. I think it's red and yellow kill a fellow, red and black poison lack.
I go by black people rules. If you're close enough to see the snake.
Don't get me near that goddamn snake.
Yeah, you fucked. Get that shit out from underneath.
It's slimy. Common misconception. Yeah. They're not slimy.
They're not?
No, snakes aren't slimy. Are you kidding me? You really think snakes are slimy?
This is a racial divide. Yeah, and water's not wet. The fuck
no, snakes just aren't slimy. They produce no slime. They don't need any sort of... They're not They're not like frogs who constantly moisturize themselves with their own mucus. It's
so you think snakes are just... You think snakes are dry?
Yes, they are.
No, snakes are not slimy. Your skin is covered in scales made of keratin, the same
like your fingernails.
Human fingernails.
that are dry to the touch.
Okay, follow-up question. Why the fuck are you a weird nigga and know that snakes aren't so
Because I've talked to stupid people before, and I've had to discuss this.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's not like... Yeah, they're made out of, like, basically nail beds. They feel very smooth and silky.
You didn't know the nail bed thing until he just pulled it up. Don't fuck.
They're made out of keratin.
Everyone knows they're made out of keratin. Eat my dick, nigga. That's crazy. You had no clue what that was.
I don't chew my nails, but I chew my snake's nails.
I do chew my nails. So you're saying when I get the pleasure out of chewing on a snake?
Don't chew
scales?
on a snake.
Snake scales.
You leave those snakes alone.
He doesn't need it. They shut
You're
him.
going into PetSmart with ulterior motives. So, Steve grew up loving all wildlife, especially reptiles. He caught his first venomous snake, a common brown snake, at the tender age of 6. It would often arrive late to school after convincing his mother to pull over so she could rescue a lizard off the road. Which, honestly, when I thought about it at first, I'm like, why the fuck would your mom stop? But if she's also in the reptile catching business, you're like, Mom, we gotta get that one. It looks so good in the fucking thing. And you'd be like, all right, son.
That sounds like a suspect-ass story. It really sounds like Steve got into reptiles, figured out snakes could detach their jaw, and the rest is history.
You think he was fucking these snakes?
I don't think he was. Do you think...
No, he's pure.
You think in the history of the world, no one's ever fucked a snake before?
There is no, I've seen the video. Someone has fucked a snake.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that wasn't any Steve Irwin or Irwin, like, kind of descendant.
That's how he gets in. He goes, this is a common garden snake. They're just a little venomous.
They're just a little venomous. But the venom feels good.
Bends the tip.
There's like, I think there's some sort of reptile or something. It might be like a beetle, but there's like these monkeys.
Hey, hold on, pause. Do you mean like the beetle is a reptile, or is that a comma-adjacent group of animals?
Adjacent group of animals.
Just making sure I don't have to resuscitate you here.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't had a scaly beetle?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So there's like these monkeys in, I don't know what forest they're on.
No, keep going.
No, they're in some forest where they're like, it's usually dangerous to like get near these, but on low doses they kind of just bite it a little bit and it gets them fucked up. And they like eventually like started protecting them. So now
do they know this? That's just sprinkling crack in the hood. You can't drop drugs on a monkey.
I think it's like a centipede. I think there's like a centipede. It just comes up, it picks up centipede, goes like, and just rubs it on their face, and they're like, oh, I'm fucked.
I'm tripping balls, man.
Like kind of just woozy and shit. It's really funny. Oh, it's a millipede, yeah.
Yes, certain species of lemurs, particularly black lemurs.
Calm down. Calm down.
Wait.
Calm down.
Particularly the fucking black ones have been observed biting and rubbing millipedes on their bodies.
The inner jungle black lemurs.
Oh yeah, no, the hill ones don't do that. The ones on the upper hills, they don't do that. But the lowland ones, the lowland monkeys, that's horrible.
Living in project trees.
Man, that's horrible. I was trying to do a Section 8 housing joke, but I couldn't think of a tree reference.
Yeah, no, just say tree in it.
It's tree housing.
Yeah, they get like high based off doing that. It's crazy.
Damn.
Dolphins get high too. Dolphins get high off jellyfish.
That's what I've been yeah, but the dolphin drugs are different because their families can afford the good drug.
Dolphins get high in rape. That's crazy. They're like frat guys.
That's what I said.
Which is not the first time that joke has been said. Don't get on my ass. All right?
Yeah. I guess that's a 37-year-old joke.
Tosh.0 did it. Did you know that Tosh.0 said that in a really... Shut up. You fucking dickhead.
Get off our junk. We posted a reel and all the comments. You're just like, you guys are fucking hacks.
Tosh.0, but I will share this to 19 people. Guess who's getting money from that? Not me. All right. But
we're close. We're close to monetizing on YouTube. Go back and rewatch stuff. Let it run.
Yeah, let it run.
While you're at the gym. Fuck Rogan. He gets enough views. Send a couple over his way.
Put on a playlist and go out of town. That's what.
Just leave your shit on.
Leave it on.
Oh, that's what we need is cat TV numbers.
No one will rob you because they'll think people are home. At one point, there was like 5 people on this podcast. That's a whole party. You might get complaints.
Yeah, you really do. This is our podcast started as 28 hours later, and this is the 28 years later that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Just 2. The zombies talk a little black
Surrounded
now.
by a can of beans. Just cans and cans of tinned beans and fish. So Steve grew up loving all wildlife. Like I said, he would rescue lizards off the road. Who wouldn't? By the time he was 9 years old, Steve was helping catch small problem crocodiles, hanging around boat ramps and jumping on them in the water and wrestling them into the dinghy.
That has to be bad parenting, right? That's on the parents. Like, how do you discover
how you raise a badass kid? Are you kidding me? Imagine just a kid sitting by the boat ramp. You're just walking by the lake. You're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm catching alligators.
Because even a little one will like rip skin off. Like a fresh baby.
Get you.
Yeah,
they'll get you.
Just fucking grab that.
Yeah, so he always had an uncanny sixth sense when it came to wildlife and spent his life honing that skill. By 1980, the wildlife park was renamed the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park. This was Steve's home and the place he loved the very, very most. Here, he worked countless hours caring for the wildlife and maintaining the grounds. As Steve's love for crocodiles grew, he spent months on end living in the most remote areas of far north Queensland, catching problem crocodiles for Queensland government. He was basically and literally the crocodile hunter.
Can you define a problem crocodile besides it fit the description?
Ain't paying alimony.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He really was just walking around being a fucking...
He's just Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's just wearing sunglasses.
Sir, you have $4,000 in unpaid parking tickets.
What do you say to that? Just opening crocodile.
Does that weird little growl thing they do with the water moves?
Oh, dude, yeah, that deep throat gurgle. Like,
yeah, that's petrifying.
Yeah, that's scary.
Fuck that. They can hiss, too. Maybe that's alligators. One of them can hiss.
One of them can hiss. That's a cat.
Well, that's it's a cat, too.
Yeah.
They're just dying. You know they don't stop growing?
They don't.
They just die from like outside forces.
Really?
Like other gators or crocs or like humans and shit. If you just leave them, there can be like old... Am I wrong on this? Am I wrong? They can just keep living. They're just eternal beings.
I think you're thinking of jellyfish.
No. Can they do that too?
Jellyfish, I think if it's not tampered with, can live to like 200 to 300 years.
I don't think it's tampering with jellyfish.
I mean, like, they fucking throw a good old 1,000 gallons of oil into the ocean every once in a while.
They do that. Well, sea turtles are a problem for them.
And like,
too.
jellyfish...
Yes, crocodiles do die. Well, they don't die of old age.
All right, this is a fantastic Google, Ian.
Hey, really, real, Ian?
Do crocodiles die? What a third grade fucking question. Do crocodiles die? And also, what makes the sun hot?
Does my dad love me?
Yeah. Well, they don't die of old age in the same way that humans or other mammals do. They are not immortal.
I hate that I have to say this. They're not God.
Crocodiles can die from a variety of causes, including disease, injury, starvation, and being killed by other animals or humans.
But wait,
so you're saying there is a chance we can produce a perfect chamber to contain a crocodile?
That's what the fuck I'm saying. If you just put them in...
I feel like there's natural crocodile diseases that come with being a crocodile.
There's a crocodile in Avatar State right now at the center of the earth. It's been there for fucking millennia. That's just waiting for the Fire Nation.
They are like dinosaurs. Like same with rhinos. Those things are fucking like actual dinos walking around.
They are. They're just waiting for the Fire Nation to attack. And by that, I mean North Korea.
And and then the crocodiles will rise up.
Take over everything. Can you say, no, they have no biological clock. Can I just read that part? It's just below.
The show more.
Yeah. Unlike many crocodiles, unlike many animals, crocodiles do not have a biological clock that determines their lifespan. They continue to grow throughout their lives, albeit, never seen that spelled before, at a slower pace as they age.
Yeah, I'm surprised you fucking nailed that, albeit.
My grunt.
To be fair, it's basically all 3 words minus 1 L jammed into one word. So it's not really hard. So external factors. Can we stroll up a little bit more? Yeah, thank you. Starvation. As they grow larger, they require more food, and eventually they may not be able to find enough to survive. Disease, like all other living things, crocodiles can succumb to various diseases, injuries from territorial disputes, hunting, or other accidents that lead to the death. A car accident. Predation. While adult crocodiles have few natural predators, younger or weaker individuals can be preyed.
So they can live up to 70 years or more. That's not forever. I've been sold a fucking false lie. That's crazy. I thought they were immortal.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Back to Steve.
Okay. He did all this while in the company of his dear little dog, hunting Queensland crocodiles.
Like a normal man.
Yeah.
He's a hero.
He brought his baby little doggy around with him and just being like, check out this. And he's like,
Oh my god!
Yeah. Steve developed crocodile capture and management techniques that are now utilized with crocodiles around the world.
I think you're gonna say outlawed in the Western Hemisphere, because what the fuck technique do you call just jumping on the back of this nigga?
Like the ways to do it and like stuff like that, finding out like how you can get around the back of a crocodile without being bit and shit like that.
Do you know the correct answer? You shoot it with...
You be a man. You jump on the back.
Darts.
No, you be a man. You jump on the back and you take that thing for a ride, baby. Stay on for 8 seconds. Your new record. So Steve took over managing the park in 1991, October 4th. 2 days later, he met Terry Raines, a visiting tourist
at the park.
Yeah, on June 4th, 1992. They are eventually married in Eugene, Oregon. He met her in 1991. They got married in 1992.
Do you know there's a video of that? I saw a video.
Yeah,
she
them
came
meeting.
to the wrangling show, had no clue who each other was, and you can see the moment. I wish there was a video the first time I met Taylor. Me just sloppy drunk at 18.
Yeah. Hi.
Your name's Amanda, isn't it? It was and is not.
Yeah. So instead of a honeymoon, the couple embarked on filming a wildlife documentary while relocating a problem crocodile in far north Queensland. The show was so successful that it turned into a series, The Crocodile Hunter.
Monetized immediately.
Yeah. This TV series became an international broadcast hit because guess who was watching it? This guy.
It became a hit because the crazy Australian jumping on fucking lizards.
Yeah.
How could that fail?
I want to jump on a lizard and bring it home.
It was back in the time when there was 90 channels, and of the 90, your other options were cooking shows or the news. So
yeah.
Just like, yeah, watch the guy jump on a fucking...
And I want the lizard to like me. And I can't guarantee that, but I really want him to be my friend. So the TV series became an international broadcast wildlife documentary hit, which Steve hosted with his wife, Terry. Steve and Terry worked tirelessly to improve and expand the wildlife park, renaming it the Australia Zoo in 1998. Their version for the world's best zoo was coming to fruition, which I want to go there so fucking bad it's nuts. The Australia Zoo, I'm reading this off the Australia Zoo website, shout out the Australia Zoo, which still have fucking Steve Irwin right up front on the top of the marquee.
Yeah, it's a little quick hop, skip, and a jump of a 29-hour trip one way. You're right there.
I would visit stuff along the way.
I'm going to need to wait until we invent a bullet plane or teleportation.
Slingshot.
Yeah, it's like, what am I going over there for? They still keep their blacks in parks. It's like, I mean, I can see it. I can see it from pictures.
Yeah. Imagine just being like, man, they're treating the animals real nice, but we still got the racist cheese here.
Jesus. The kangaroo has air conditioning.
Yeah. They're palm fawning that tiger.
Jeez.
He just ate a guy and everyone clapped.
The koala has to be put on a weight program because it's putting on too much weight.
So Steve treasured every opportunity to share his love for wildlife with his children, Bindi and Robert. Which they are, dude, I remember fucking...
Bindi is hot.
I remember being young and looking at Robert and looking at my dad.
You guys got that, right?
Let me finish.
Bindi's a piece. You go, dude, I remember staring at Robert.
No, I remember looking at Robert and looking at my dad. I'm like, life's not fair, dude. Why aren't I Robert Irwin? Why can't this be my daddy? I want to grow up around. I'm like, my dad makes video games. That's tight. Anywho, I want to see a kangaroo and I want to see it now. Why
that
can't
is kind
that
of the
be...
ultimate my dad will beat your dad. It's like, do you know my dad put a alligator in a guillotine the other day?
Nothing is cooler to a little boy than just being like, what does your dad do? And it's like, he tames the wilds of Australia.
He fights snakes and shit. Nigga, what's your dad do? Works in a cubicle. Yeah, exactly.
He does plumbing, hits my mom.
You have to fully meet. Well, it's a very noble trade. I mean, we need more guys. We need more guys.
Yeah, my dad drives a Honda around a fucking 4-acre. Yeah, look at Robert.
Dude, she looks like Ronda Rousey a little bit.
She does kind of look like Ronda.
Bindi?
She's holding an echidna, which, fun fact, have the most terrifying penis of the animal kingdom.
So, a couple things on that. One, don't ever just nonchalantly roll past echidna, because I was going to call it a hedgehog, and I hate that you know that too.
That's an echidna.
Stop knowing weird dick facts.
Can we pull up an echidna penis real quick?
Bro, this is not the first time this has happened either. He like does this a lot.
No, this is, by the way, it's ECH, yeah.
Why do you know that?
Because I know what an echidna is, because I'm not a fucking dumbass. It's also what Knuckles the Hedgehog is based off. Hey, Knuckles the echidna, I mean. Yeah, it has 4 penis tips.
What the fuck, dude?
It has 4 penis heads. Isn't that fun? A little paw coming to say hi to you.
Dude, that makes sense. That's
Wait, go to the second photo. Swear to God, he's smiling.
Yeah, dude.
Swear to God, he's smiling. Let's get that as wide as if he swear to God, he's got a big old smile on his face. Look at him. He's like, yeah, look at that.
Bro, that's what my biological dad must have had. That's the only way you get 4 girls pregnant in the same year. 1,000%.
Is that what your dad did?
Yeah, dude's out here putting up, just
I've
Wilt
been
Chamberlain.
everywhere, man. Arizona, Minnesota.
That's crazy. What the fuck? Hey, do you think if like the sci-fi movies? I mean, the Jurassic Park's trying to do it now, where they're like experimenting and they're throwing all the stuff in that goes wrong. Do you think that makes the cut? Because it's always like they put in the shape shifting of like an octopus and the camouflage of this and the sight of an eagle. You think the dick of an echidna gets in there too? It's for shits and gigs when you're making like the perfect thing.
Yeah, you definitely see some stuff. You're filming out there in like Siberian tundra for like 4 years. You're gonna get some shit.
You're gonna see a thing.
You're gonna see a thing or two, which is probably gonna make you sad.
That sounds like some rich people shit. You ever seen Bear and Chidnacock? No, you haven't. Grab that bourbon. Come here. Look. Let me show you something. I got frozen in Chidnacock.
It's echidna.
One of the heads fell off. Echidna kind of sounds like...
Echidna is not a thing. It's an echidna.
It's an echidna?
Yeah.
Echidna kind of sounds like if you say Italian versus Italian.
Yeah.
Goddamn echidna.
You going to Chipotle?
Yeah, either way, I don't want them in my neighborhood.
Yeah. So, hey.
It's gated.
They're good. You get your 4 penis-tipped ass away from here.
I worked hard for this.
I don't trust you. All right. Steve treasured every opportunity to share his love for the wildlife with his children, Bindi and Robert. He instilled in them the need to treat every living being with kindness.
Yep.
You have not been instilled with such.
What? To treat every living human being with kindness?
No, every living being.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, because absolutely no. That's crazy.
They are better than you.
What? No. Dude, a chihuahua? Why do we need them?
Because they're part of God's earth.
No, it should have went Australian tiger, dodo birds, chihuahua on the fucking extinction.
First off, you're thinking of Tasmanian tiger.
Right. That's close, right?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Tasmania is in... It's got to be a fucking...
Tasmania, I think, is its own place.
It's like a stone's throw away from... Yeah, but it's one of those countries that doesn't get to be. It's like you're... It's like...
To be fair, have you heard about like, oh man, we're going to war with Tasmania? I'm like, did it 4 hours later, are we done yet?
That's what...
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So Steve was incredibly proud of his children. Often said if he was to be remembered for anything, he hoped it was for being a good dad, which he was a fucking great
not a 6-foot stingray needle through the fucking jugular in the middle of the ocean. Why?
Yeah, so in July 2006, Steve and Terry set out on a 10-year business plan for their beloved zoo, and tragically, Steve passed away 2 months later after setting out.
I kind of picture Steve and Terry have business meetings like me and you have business meetings where like Terry's like, okay, yes, and then year 2, we're expecting this much growth and margin and business speak, and then you see Steve just like, I want to go pet a koala.
Yeah.
Just like staring out of
Here are some of the most notable portions of his career, by the way. He discovered a new turtle species.
Is that notable or
it's important? A whole new species of turtle.
Okay.
It was unknown to this earth until he found it.
You ever think it didn't want to be found? You ever think that nigga was minding his own business?
You think he's like the Al-Qaeda version of a turtle? He's just being like, I'm a sleeper cell. You found me. You said the right turtle words.
No, but I
I'm
picture
awake.
him like when Leo's just trying to get coffee. He's like an unmarked black hat and a trench coat. He's just trying to step out. There's Steve like, hey, turn around, Leo.
Yeah, found you. Dude, there was a really funny, Steve Irwin got invited to Florida, just like on a press junket, and he went to the Gators thing. And
Gatorland?
No, he went to the Florida Gators like center, and they were touring him around, and he's just like, stand back, this is a big one, and he tackled the Florida Gators mascot.
They had, ESPN used to make really good in-office commercials, and that was one of them.
Yeah, that was very silly.
I thought you meant gay. That's the trash I am.
Yeah, no.
My family's been to Gatorland.
In 2001, he was awarded Australian government's Centenary Medal for his service to global conservation and Australian tourism. In 2002, he got his lead role in the Crocodile Hunter Collision Course, establishing conservation. I can barely say that word. Every time it's spelled.
Keeping shit around.
Yeah. So he established conservation charity for wildlife warriors. 2004 is recognized as a tourism export of the year and Australian of the Year nominee. 2006 awarded honorary professorship by the University of Queensland School of Integrative Biology.
They just let you come teach shit eventually? If you wrangle enough gators, they're just like, fuck it. Yeah, I don't know. Come teach the kids.
Yeah.
What percentage of smart versus badass do you think he was? You think it was 50-50, or do you think he was more badass or more smart?
I don't know. That's so... I mean, he was so smart and also so badass that it's hard.
You can only be so smart to jump on the back of a fucking 12-foot gator.
Well, the reason why, like, I think he... And also, 2018, he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And... in 2015 was a recipient of the Queensland Great Awards, honored with the naming of a new species of land snail, the crikey Steve Irwin, in 2009, and inducted in the Queensland Business Leaders Hall of Fame in 2009.
I didn't realize you could sponsor animals. This is the first time I'm hearing this, where you can put like putting a sandwich on a menu.
NASCAR decals on the side of a... On the side of a turtle, yeah.
This is the Bobby Flay butterfly. It travels from Phoenix, Arizona to Las Vegas 3 times a year.
Yeah.
That's the Steve Irwin. That's the brought to you by Steve Irwin Snail of the Year.
Yeah, Steve Irwin Snail brought to you by Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin presents Snail.
Yeah. It's like Live at the Apollo.
It's a snail. It's a snail. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's a snail.
Do you respect the snail?
It's like some people's life accomplishments are like, oh, I own I have a room in the New York Public Library. It's called the Me Room in the West Wing. This guy is a snail.
Somebody made, I think, the Russell Crowe was like, there was like a whole feud between Russell Crowe and Jon Stewart. And like Jon Stewart bought like his cod piece from Gladiator and was auctioning it off. And so Russell Crowe went to like, I think it was like the Queensland Zoo, and bought and named the koala chlamydia like treatment center after John Oliver.
That's pretty.
So it's John Oliver's koala chlamydia treatment center.
That's pretty fun. That's pretty good. He's a comedian too. You should get it.
Yeah,
that would be my ultimate dream as a rich person. By the way,
Russell Crowe is not a comedian. No, you're thinking about Russell Crowe.
I said as a rich person. No,
you said he's a comedian.
No, you said John Oliver. You said
John Oliver.
You said Jon Stewart first, and then John.
I know. I fucked up. It's too many Johns.
Yeah, a bunch of Johns.
Yeah, the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Award.
That's pretty sweet, by the way. Also, didn't know that's how you spell chlamydia. You learn something new every day.
Do you know? You want to know something so funny?
What?
Do you know how I learned how to spell chlamydia?
Definitely not from your college clinic.
No, it was from my dad. He gave it to me.
Why does it go back to this constantly?
No, that was the name of his level 32 female mage in World of Warcraft. It was a human woman named Chlamydia.
Dude, it's just like that's the most virgin shit I've ever heard. That what?
Big laugh in the bowling household. That was a big bit.
You guys are fucking dorks. That's insane. Level 32 mage?
Yeah, that's not even...
Woman? By the way,
female mage?
Playing as a female character is crazy work as a guy.
Yeah, I never got that.
There's some bros that
nodding his head.
There's some bros that really lean into that, and I don't know what that says about me. Probably the fact that I don't talk to my mom. But dude, it's like if you're just like, it's like, dude, I'm just gonna be a lady character. You're like, what are you fucking? Join the Patreon where I can be fun and speak freely. Jesus Christ, is that that is
the tale of Steve Irwin? He died by a I think it was like an Australian bull ray. It's called a bull ray. But the reason why they think it stung him, because they're naturally docile creatures, is they had a cameraman in front of him and Steve was behind him kind of talking, so he was like kind of cornered, and so he like shot up and like stabbed him in the heart with his stingray thing, and then Steve ripped it out. And you can't do that.
Well, your other option then is to be towed by a stingray.
I mean, no, you grab the stingray, you fucking kill it, and then you just hold a stingray till you get to the hospital. Because someone also got stabbed, I think close to the heart.
Poseidon? You can get stabbed underwater.
Dude, he's
kill the stingray with your bare fists, and then just like swim to safety.
Legitimately, he's the closest thing I can think of to Poseidon. He's
not even a water guy.
He's a master of both land and sea.
No, he's not. The producers threw him in the sea. He's not a sea guy.
Yeah, he is.
He was never in the water hugging alligators.
He's a master of all
He'd always
animals.
bring them onto dry land on his territory.
I think he did some shark specials and stuff like that.
Again, that's not what he was doing.
He did it. He's a master of both land and sea.
No, he's master of land, and he was a jack of all trades at sea.
Steve Irwin was a beastmaster. If anyone has earned the title of beastmaster, it is Steve Irwin. I saw this awesome video. He was going around the Australia Zoo, like his Steve Irwin complex and all that shit, just on a motorcycle, and he sees two kookaburras fighting. And he's just like, hey, what's going on? You never seen a kookaburra?
Don't look at me and say it like that. No, I've never seen a fucking cocoa barrel.
It's not a barrel of cocoa, you dumbass.
It's a cocoa barrel.
They're not rolling it into Cocoa Pebbles factory.
Say it again. How you say it?
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way,
it's
neither here nor there.
It's a bird that it's called. Yeah, it's those motherfuckers.
Now, did you spell it like that originally, Ian? All right, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say because there's no goddamn way you spelled that right.
Yeah, no, they're really, first off, look adorable. Look at that little guy. Look at him.
It's fine.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Looking at you.
It's fine.
Look at his little dumbass face. Look at the guy with his puffed. Yeah, right there. Click on that guy. Look at him.
It's no green speckled warbler, but
no, they make do you know like when you see like I don't know what a warbler is. Right. I'm assuming it's a type of bird.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
But no, they're like, do you know in Australia, like when insane Kangaroo Jack, when they're like, where are we going? And it cuts to Australia and you're like, like that.
Oh,
yeah, they're the type of birds that go like that.
And it's not the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird.
No. Wait, maybe. I wonder what type of bird was the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Annoying. And he should stop. Actually, it was
I think he was just an addict.
I thought it was a girl. Didn't someone comment that? We had a cereal reel a little while ago, and someone was like, I think that's a chick. I think it's a girl.
You think?
It's either a butch lesbian or really effeminate bro. Either way.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Also, can you name the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot?
Jonathan. What do you mean?
They didn't.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
It was just an old guy, kind of like a bakery, but.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs mascot.
Sonny the Cuckoo Bird.
He's an cuckoo bird.
That's a real thing, I think.
What's a cuckoo bird?
It's a real thing. It's the ones that go cuckoo.
Oh, fucking dude! Please kill yourself. Are you kidding me?
It makes the cuckoos.
Yeah.
You thought I was tripping?
I know.
You think the marketing for fucking?
I know, but what type of fucking speak and spell language do you live in? Where I'm just like, what type of dog is that? You're like, the type that goes roof. What type of chicken is that? You know, the type that goes like... Buck, buck,
no, nigga, very specifically, this one goes cuckoo. That's why they call it the cuckoo bird and not, hey, little ma,
it's
come over here.
Cuckoo bird. Not cuckoo.
God damn. Hey, how much time we had, Ian?
You're about like an hour.
All right, good. Let's go ahead and let's get to the Patreon, unless you got some other wildness you want to discuss.
No.
As always...
You're a cuckoo bird.
You're a fucking dipshit. As always, when you join the Patreon, which by the way is only 4 quarters, and we're running a summer special. What it is, I don't know yet, but I know I'm going to do it. We're running a summer special. Buy one, get one free something. Maybe we'll put a video of Tristan doing some embarrassing stuff. I have a video of his taint I'm willing to throw up there.
Don't put it up there.
Send me a message.
That was for Trevin Muncie only. Shout out Trevin.
Here we go. And we encourage you to change your name to something funny. We read them out at the end of every episode. We got a couple new members. Adam Urbanski, how you doing? Jared Sass. Did Tristan lose a bet?
What does that have to do with it?
I was talking about your haircut for sure.
Oh, no. I just like it. It's getting too hot. It's easier to manage. Just kind of wipe it off.
That's great.
Use a paper towel. Fucking clean your whole head.
Yeah, we got a $10 follower of Gus Homie that's been here since December 2003. Thank you for hanging out. Or 2023.
I was about to say, I don't think Patreon was an established thing.
We're doing a Back to the Future thing?
Fuck. If we were doing this podcast since 2003 and we're here, we should ourselves.
That's crazy. Yeah, we got
I was 5 years old doing this podcast. The episode coming up quick, the one where Steve Irwin dies. I was very heartbroken. I was wearing my khaki shirt and matching shorts.
We got Sebastian, aren't you embarrassed? Maniscalco. Femboy Pussy Go Blap Blap. Okay, this is
He's been around for a while.
This is funny. So we got. I'm gonna translate this right here because I have internet on here. We have Tristan Eist ein Schweitzel, which
I'm pretty sure it's a slur.
Yeah, loosely translated means. Jesus. Schweitzel Eist ein. It means. It means English. It means Tristan is a. That's awesome in a German language. That's what I'm talking about. That's highbrow shit. I had to Google
It's
something.
not highbrow. It's a different language.
Okay, all right. I guess our brows.
People in
Guess
Germany,
our brows align different.
people in Germany, if you're referencing fine art,
A German podcast is looking up Tristan as a nigga. They're like, hold on, this should be funny.
yeah.
That's great. Carl, my girlfriend said my penis looks like a gummy worm. Gold.
Carl, I love you, but the girl is too good for you.
Is she hot?
She is hot.
He's paying, right?
I got to assume something. He came up, he was visibly shaking when I
Carl,
saw
get
him.
your girl on the Patreon. Hella, damn it. The Glizzy Joker. That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
you know it is when you say it.
That's Trevin. I'm not gonna lie to you. Trevin changes his name more than anyone and has been the most involved Patreon member we've had. 6 out of 10.
I like Lizzie Joker. I didn't know it was Trevor.
What a fucking turn.
Didn't know it was Trevor.
You rube. Join the Patreon. Tell a friend about the cast. I'm about to go karate chop this guy in his jugular. We'll see you next week.
Bye, Trevin.
All right.